Hello everyone, my name is Luke, otherwise known as CoolHandWiz, and today we're playing a very highly recommended and suggested game, Stanley's Parable. A couple people actually recommended me for this game actually to play on the channel, I think almost a year ago. And it was actually on sale a couple weeks ago, and it's like, why not try and see how it is, because it's actually really highly rated. So if you guys want to see more of this, be sure to hit the like button. Let me know in the comments what other games you guys want to see on the channel, and let's get started. Okay, so
this is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day.
Sounds like an interesting job.
of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Is this going to be some kind of a narration game where it tells us what we're doing when we're walking around?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Who farted?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
What does this one say? Be my Valentine. Locked. It's weird. Where are all the people?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Should we go to the right one? No. We'll follow the rules this time.
Yet there was not a single
Tips
person
for not getting fired.
Way in disbelief, Stanley decided to go
Talk
up to
less.
his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
What is hot? Target demographic teenagers.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Wow, his boss is a nice office. Jeez. It's like a different, like, building.
Stepping
almost.
into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
What is going on? This is mighty suspicious. This kind of reminds me in Deus Ex when you find that secret elevator that is in like the CEO's office.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
I thought that was someone who was like, we're not alone.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the
Mind control facility.
Mind control facility. Although this passageway had the word escape, Stanley thought better of it. The truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Okay, well, keep on going. We must discover what I'm guessing this is how they controlled him.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength?
Oh, those are all television screens? Jeez.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
Oh,
Each bore the
my.
number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
This is kind of creepy. Why would they need to do this? Okay, we'll follow what the voice in our head is saying.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Wow, this is a huge building.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly
Where are we
spent
even
his
going?
entire life utterly blind to the world?
Okay.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
They must be all offline because there's nobody here. Guessing this is the main control. Console disabled. Okay. Go up here. Mind control idle, awaiting input. System power.
And when at last he found the sword.
Did I press the wrong button? Uh-oh.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing.
I didn't even know you actually go outside of the building.
The open door.
I've only seen the trailer where he's like just walking back and forth around.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation.
Was he stuck in the office the whole day and just like under mind control?
This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
I have a feeling he's still in the building. What? We beat the game? What? No, that can't be right. Can it? What? Okay. I'm guessing that we're gonna have to go the other way when it's like go down the different paths and see what we can find, because I didn't know it was like that where it just ends like that. Shortest game I've ever played. Okay. This time.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, I've seen people. Like, if you stand in a place that starts talking and saying that, you don't go. Well, I'm a little impatient. I won't go that way. Or I won't try and do that first, at least.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, this time we're gonna go on the right one.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
The plane. Wow.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
I want a soda. Why won't you give me a soda?
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay, we can either go that way or we can go this way, the more fun way.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
This voice is funny.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
Oh.
Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Is that her?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
What? What's going on?
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Fine, we'll pick up the phone. What? We're back? What?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about
You're damn.
Gotcha! Oh,
What?
come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come on.
This is so
Let me show
weird.
you what's really going on here.
No. I don't want to.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
What?
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Good morning, employee 427. Press F on your keyboard. No. Oh, I don't have a choice.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
What? Press X. Why? I don't want to. I have a feeling he's gonna hurt me.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
No. I'm not gonna press it. I'm not gonna press it. I'm not gonna listen to the voice inside my head. No. Let's see if anything happens if we don't press it. Because clicking on your mouse counts as touching your keyboard, okay.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown.
And a styrofoam
fantastic
wife.
discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Press F to watch TV. Where's the TV?
And so he began to
What?
fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Press 8 to spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Prepared
As he
for
wandered
dinner.
through
What?
his fantasy world, he
This
began to
room's
fill it with
changing.
possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy.
I don't know if this is
and
a
so
good
in his
idea to
head,
keep him
he
pressing these
relived
buttons.
it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here,
Something
the more invested he
Sundays or
gets,
Fridays.
the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be
Oh
anything
my
but an
gosh.
observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself.
We're back
He won't
in
just
the
look
same
He won't stop.
office.
Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Okay, we're gonna question this time. Alright, we're not gonna press anything. Let's see what happens.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I
we killed ourselves. What? Okay, well, we found out 2 ways. I think we'll stop here for now. If you guys want to see more of these, let me know in the comments. This kind of game allows you to like kind of decide, like, technically we beat the game in like the first video of this game. So if you guys want to see more, let me know in the comments. Be sure to like and let me know what you guys want to see on the channel. And apart from that, I will see you guys next time. Adios.